Welcome to Fino Concept. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. What's up guys, this is Theo from Fino Concept and this is the continuation of our previous video. Welcome to part 2. So let's just continue. Anyway, this is where we were. If you haven't gotten to this side, please be sure to watch our previous video. I'll leave a card up to here so that you can see it if you haven't already. So what we are going to do is click on timeline. If you don't have this, just go to window up here and click on timeline, which is down here. So timeline is going to pop up, and once that does, you click on create video timeline. So this is going to create a 5 seconds video for all of our layers. All of the layers selected up here. Okay, now what we want to do is animate the clouds, then probably our image or something. Let's just see what we get out of this. So with my zoom tool, I just click on fit screen so that we can see everything we're doing. Anyway, let's start with the cloud. Animating will look a lot nicer if the time is very short. So instead of 5 seconds, we have half of a second, we have 1 second, 1.5 seconds, and this is actually 5 seconds. That's too much. We will reduce it to 3 seconds for all layers. So I'll drag my timeline to 3 seconds. Then I'll select all my layers. So we have a group here. I'll select in the layer. So I'm just holding down control. You can also select from here. Then I'll click on this scissors icon, right? Scissors icon. So that will just cut everything out. Then I'll select those parts which I don't need away. So those parts will be these ones. Then I'll just press delete on my keyboard, or I'll click on this icon right here. That will delete. Yes, I want to delete. Okay, so we have just 3 seconds for all of them. If you want to know more about animating in Photoshop, I'll leave a card up here for you to view our previous tutorial. Okay, so for these ones, we have this, we have that. What we are going to do is make it move from one side to the other, but in a very short manner. We don't want it to move too way apart from each other. So you know what, let's try to increase this a bit so that we get it outside our workspace, probably around here. I'll click and drag it on top. Then for this one too, let's click and drag probably about here. Okay, so let's start with this one, the one on our left. You see this arrow right here, just click on it. Let me go down. Then you move to transform, because it is a smart object. You see smart object thumbnail. Just right click and go to rasterize layer. This will change transform to position. I think it works better with position. So this is where we want it to move once it is done. So at this, we want it to be at this point at the end of the animation. So we go to the end of the animation over here, then we create a keyframe. So just click on the stop clock icon, then we move to the beginning, then we will animate it. So in the beginning we want it to be somewhere around here. I'm just using the forward arrow. I don't want to click and drag because once I do that I might make a mistake with the positioning. So let me just undo that. So I'm using the arrow key instead. Now let's hide this and see how it looks. So we have the clouds moving slightly up to the end. Okay, now let's do the same for this one. I'll click on the arrow icon right here, and it's set to transform. So what I'll do is I'll rasterize this layer. In case you don't have rasterized layer, probably like this one, rasterized layer highlighted, it means it is already rasterized, so you don't have to do it. But this is a smart object. I clicked and dragged into it, that's why I have to do that. So I'll create a keyframe for this one too. Keyframe here. I'll move to the beginning of our image, then I'll use my arrow key. This time I'll bring it inwards. So this is what we are getting for both images. Cool. Okay, now let's do one for this. So instead of this, notice this is a smart object as well. So instead of rasterizing it so that we have position, opacity and style, I'm going to leave it as a smart object. So if you don't have that, you just right click and go to convert to smart object. We want to work with transform this time around. So transform, want to make it a little bit larger. So let's reduce the opacity to about 80. No, let's use 90. Okay, so again, let's go back to the end of our animation. The end of our animation will be where we want it to be when it's done. You know what, I actually want it to be bigger at the end. So in the beginning, I'll create a keyframe, that's what it's called, and probably let's reduce the size. So in the beginning, I want it to be about this big. Click on OK. Then at the end, which is right around here, I want it to be about this big. Okay, so I'll click on OK. Maybe a little bit bigger. So let's see what we have. Let's try to run preview this. Okay, it's looking a bit better. Now you see that over here we have, let me show you, we have this layer overlapping that one. We don't want that. This is the layer I'm talking about. So just create a layer mask and brush that portion out. Okay, I think it's much better. Now for this, there are two match blue. Oh yeah, we have an exposure on top of it. We should have animated the exposure as well. I forgot about that. So let's undo. So what you can do is you can merge these two layers, merge layers, so that you don't have to work with both of them. Other than that, you are going to move them individually. So I'll just merge them, or I'll just convert both of them to a smart object so that I just work on one of them. So in the beginning, I want it to be, let's go back, I want it to be as big as this. So transform, then at the end I want it to be about this big, and I just click on OK. So let's hide that portion we were hiding from the previous. Okay, here it is. Let's hide it one more time. Okay, so I think we are done. You can add in a few of them, probably the gradient or something else, but for this tutorial I'll just be animating the clouds. And once you are done, just go to File, Export, and click on Render Video. So this should take a little bit of time to initialize. And the default setting is MP4. So if you don't have MP4, just rename this anything you want, then you click on render and it's going to render them out. But if you don't want to go to file, blah blah blah, too long for you, just click on this arrow right here and that's going to make this pop up, and you click on render and it starts rendering. So let's see how this video looks after the render. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like to watch more of these videos, please don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, or any contributions, leave it in the comment below. We will love to hear from you. And as always, don't forget to share with your family and friends. This is Theo from Concept, and I'll see you guys in the next one.